Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hanging Out for a Living. Today, we have the distinct pleasure of hosting Brent Conley, a multi-talented entrepreneur and a dedicated patriot who served our country in the United States Air Force. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Brent for his service to our great nation. As the owner and founder of Conley Property Management and the president of Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Rochester, Brent's journey is an inspiration to all of us. Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Rochester are the outdoor lighting experts in the Pittsford, Victor, Brighton, and the greater Rochester, New York area. Their expertise lies in transforming outdoor spaces with low voltage architectural and landscape lighting. From enchanting backyard installations to accent lighting that enhances the architectural, I can't even talk today, beauty of properties, they ensure that after the sun sets, your property continues to shine. So let's dive into the world of outdoor lighting with Brent Conley, or as I like to refer to him, the outdoor lighting wizard. Brent, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, yeah, I'm happy to be here, mostly because I love making people happy and I love lighting. I have an artistic side I never knew I had, and I enjoy every time I see it come out. But but honestly, there's nothing like the reaction I get from people. I've had my grandson working with me lately, and he got a kick out of it first and would come home and say, "Why is it everywhere you go, people like run down their driveway and hug you?" And I said, "Because that's that's what we're aiming for. We're
Right.
aiming to be so different from every other contractor that people are shocked and people are so happy with what they get that they want to welcome me into their family. And I really do feel like I just have a big family with my lighting clients."
Oh, that's wonderful. And knowing you personally as I do, I'm not surprised. So, tell us a little bit. Can you share with our viewers the inspiration behind starting Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Rochester and how it has really evolved over the years?
Well, it's kind of funny how I got into that. I used to be an electrician at Kodak, and when I was old enough and had enough money, because I don't like to gamble, I decided it's time to go into my own business. And I always wanted to do that, and I wanted to do it when I was younger. And I thought that because of my industrial background, and I thought I was pretty good at it, that people were going to be all over me once I put my magnet on the side of my truck and said, "I'm going to do electrical work in an industrial environment, charge a lot of money, and they'll want it." It turned out once I called my contacts in that world that those were all locked down by huge electrical contractors that I just couldn't compete with. So I started, Google saved me. It actually started the second half of my life because I started Googling lighting in particular. And that was because when I was at Kodak, no matter what huge project I did, and some of them were massive and meant a lot, the one thing that excited people was when I went in and put new lights in, when I made their offices the same, or I made a dark work area safely lit. So I knew that was something to focus on. I assumed I was going to end up in Las Vegas because of all the lights. But
Uh,
I turned out I never wanted to do residential work, and I love it now. I went and traveled to the South and went to places like Nashville and Richmond and Charlotte. And in the South, they did a lot of great lighting, and in Rochester, they didn't. And it changed my mind. I saw the beauty of it. And when I tried it and started designing and looked at it as different than just technical, will the light work? I found that I had a real talent there, that I knew all about color temperatures and beam widths and all the electrical end of it. But I also found out that I was a bit of a lighting artist, and I really, really enjoyed the brushstrokes. I
yeah.
enjoyed as I drove up to somebody's home or business and I could picture it before I ever got out and spoke to them how it should look at night. And that was a part of what I had to learn how to do, was communicate to them that I was going to make this stunning. Uh, and how do you not enjoy that when I drive by something at night and I see a few lit homes, but they're poorly lit, and then I see mine, I'm just happy, mostly because I know the people inside know that they have a house that during the day was sort of like everybody else's,
Yeah.
only at night. It's the one stunning one that people remember when they leave their neighborhood. So, it's feel good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got into it. I found the franchise then and spoke to the owners and saw the work they did. And even though I was an old retired guy, and this was in 2012, I thought I got to be that guy. That's going to be the next half of my life. I'm not going to ever sell something to people they don't really want or have a hard time paying for. I'm going to sell something that people really, really want and don't mind paying for it and see the value in it.
And so you've answered a little bit of our next question, but I'll ask it anyway. So,
Okay.
what sets Outdoor Lighting Perspectives apart as North America's most trusted outdoor lighting company? And how do you maintain that reputation?
Well, the North America part is we have 63 franchises all around the country,
Hmm.
and it's unbelievable the focus on being the best. And I have a conference coming up in Las Vegas this month where we're going to spend 3 or 4 days together. That all we talk about is everybody's best methods, all the best products. We meet with the vendors, and from the corporate end, they will not allow for you to install a product that's not something that's really built to last forever. And that resonates with me personally because I've told people this many, many times that if something's 99.9% perfect, that's not good enough. And I don't go in and try and do a good job for anybody. We just want excellent all the time. And the people that work for me, the first thing I tell them and the thing I tell them all the time is we're not in a hurry. We're not trying to make as much money as we can by doing this house today and then another one later today. Just take your time. Just make sure everything is the best we can possibly do it. And I think now back locally, more than anything, the value that I add with this company is that I make sure everybody knows there's no good enough. There's only excellent. And when people get us, they get the best design, they get the best products, and they get the best installations. And sometimes it takes me a while to get to an installation. It doesn't usually, but it's partly because I don't bring in a subcontractor. I never will. I'll never let somebody go out there that's not trained well. So continuity of workforce is so important to the quality of our product that I
Yeah.
pay well and I train well. I have a lighting lab in my warehouse. And when we have slow times, when there's snow on the ground, we go in and learn. They sit in front of the big TV. We look at beautifully designed lights elsewhere, and I talk about how they came up with that. We handle the products, and then we go to the bench, and I get a chance to try and trick them. So this
That's
training that
always fun.
I used to do it with apprentices at Kodak, and this training for them really makes it so where most people that have low voltage lighting systems at their house have a hard time finding somebody to troubleshoot it and fix when there's a problem. Sometimes days, sometimes other people that do lighting just throw up their hands and give up. My guys, I tell them they'll probably be in and out in 30 minutes and have your whole system up and running because we
Wow.
work on that. And so that's a
Absolutely.
real advantage that you get great service later.
Yeah. And you spoke to this a little bit earlier when you said when you drive up to a property, by the time you get out of your vehicle, you can see what that lighting will look like. So, could you walk us through the process of designing a lighting display for your client? How do you ensure that it perfectly fits their needs, preferences, and budget?
Well, so first off, when I meet somebody, I want to make sure they never have any stress that's caused by me. We only want to
Mm.
create happiness.
Yeah.
So when I drive up there and I've seen what it needs, and I know before they ever step out their door, I know what I would do if it was my house. Then I have to ask them, what do you hope to accomplish? What made you call me? What is it you'd like to see? And then we'll walk around. And if you're talking about the front of your house, we'll talk about how budgetary decisions might affect the design, how your personal thoughts of how you would like your lighting might affect what I consider a perfect design. And I'll share with you what I think is a perfect design and why. And we try to come to a place where they are going to get what's best for them, even if
Sure.
they didn't know it. But I always listen to them. And a good example is I really like that we have gutter lights now. So if there's a dormer up above or another great architectural feature that I'd like to see, that's hard to light from the ground, I have the option of putting a light in a gutter with a special made gutter bracket, wire that's allowed to go in them and everything. And once in a while, people don't want to do that. So I'll show them a picture of this is a house like yours with them. This is a house without them. And if they decide to go without them, I still don't want them stressed that maybe they made a mistake. So I tell them, we're going to do it without. And if in 6 months or a year or the next year you decide you want them, the price, I give them a price list when I give them a quote. The price that's on that list, no matter how much the costs have changed, is going to be your price. So you don't have to say, oh God, I wish I had that one more. How much does it cost for them to set up and sell me a new fixture at today's prices? No. If I told you it was going to cost you $230 more than a year from now, I will still honor that. And that's why you have a price list so that you can see that you're getting the same deal. And
Right.
usually it works out great for them because people recommend their neighbors. And when they recommend their neighbors, they get credits from me. And
Okay.
if they have credits that aren't quite enough to get that extra light, we just go and put it in anyways. You know,
Yeah.
I hate to tell people that we do a lot of extra stuff more than what's on the proposal and on the invoice, but we really do because we want it to look the best. So if we see a need
Absolutely.
for something, we just do it and they get something free.
Absolutely. So, with over 150,000 systems installed and numerous accolades, and from what you shared, it's clear why, including features in and being included in features in prestigious publications. Could you share like a really memorable project or success story that stands out in your journey with outdoor lighting perspectives?
Well, I have so many of them. I, I'm gonna narrow it down, but I was at a banquet the other night at Country Club at Rochester and walked around the room and saw so many of my lighting clients in there. And it was the same hug thing I was talking about.
Mm.
You know, guys would come over and say, okay, I'm going to rescue my wife from you. And their wives would say, oh, no, no, we're still talking about the backyard. You know, we want to do the pool area. And the husband's like, oh, more money. But, but anyway, besides all of those, because they're all enjoyable, one that I really get a kick out of was Woodstock when COVID was really going strong.
Yeah.
And Woodstock is a long ways from us. It's almost to New York
Yes.
City, but we got contacted by Woodstock that they were changing phases. They were wanted to allow visitors in again.
Mm.
And we were going to go right on the main drag, right across the street from the town hall and police department and light up a B&B in town. And when we got there, like everything was closed. There was one little place that you could buy something to drink through a window that was up on the main drag. There was no cars, no people, and no lighting.
Yeah.
And when we left, it was stunning, and I still use. It's been a few years, and when I do any kind of PowerPoint demonstration for people, and I use pictures and clients' reviews on there, I always put that Woodstock one on there. It's not the biggest or most beautiful, but it was a project I really, really enjoyed.
And it's really memorable. So, thank you, Brent, for shedding light on the remarkable world of outdoor lighting through outdoor lighting perspectives of Rochester. Your passion for enhancing the look and feel of properties after dark is really inspiring. To our viewers, if you're ready to elevate the ambiance of your outdoor spaces or simply want to improve the safety with soft lighting, Brent and his team are here to help you. Don't let the conversation end here, though. Reach out to Brent to schedule a complimentary design consultation and embark on the journey to transform your property into a nighttime masterpiece. Brent's contact information is detailed in the description of this video. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us on Hanging Out for a Living, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. Thank you so much, Brent, for joining us. Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Teresa. Bye bye.